I was raised to believe that hard work was a sacred path to success. That if you poured your blood, sweat and tears into something, the universe will recognize it and you will be rewarded for it. But as I watched my friends crumble under this broken promise, my childhood friend working 2 warehouse jobs just to afford rent, while another friend from construction coming home with vacant eyes after yet another 16-hour shift. And finally, young men destroying their own bodies so that their company CEO can make their yearly salary in just a single afternoon. And the greatest lie? We tell ourselves hard work will set us free.
A recent study found that
the financial pressures of the middle class,
but now living far below a middle-class lifestyle.
Think about this for a moment. While you're breaking your back for an honest day of work, the person at the top of your company earns what you earn in an entire year during the lunch break alone. Not because they work harder, but because that's how the system was designed for. In fact, the average worker takes home just enough to survive, around $80,000 a year, while their CEO walks away with millions of dollars instead. Take Aaron for example, who manages an entire team of executives, but was told to accept being paid less than their subordinates because the company was going through some changes. Or Brian, after taking over the manager's entire role, was told they didn't need a raise because, Brian, you have a nice apartment, you don't even need to support anyone. But here's what's even more devastating. Ever since the 1970s, while the people at the top saw their wealth explode by over 1200%, the actual workers, the ones who built, created, and kept a world running, got just enough to keep showing up. 15%, that's all it took. In some countries today, the gap has grown so wide that you would need to start working since 1755, before America was even declared a country, just to earn what their CEO makes in just 1 year. The gap keeps widening, the promise keeps breaking, the system keeps taking. We've created a world where the very people who keep our society functioning, your neighbors, your friends, your family, can barely afford to live in it. A world where working 2 jobs isn't a choice, it's survival. Like the warehouse worker pulling 16-hour shifts just to afford rent, or the office professional who despite their education and experience still lives paycheck to paycheck, not being able to save for the future. Our labor fuels the luxury, our sacrifices feed the access, and our hopes become the stepping stones. The system doesn't take our time, it takes our hopes, leaving us too exhausted to dream, too broken to fight, too tired to see the cage we're building around ourselves. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet, this is about a system that takes everything from people who give everything. In 2024, the global economy revealed something darker than just numbers. While workers worldwide chase survival, corporate executives don't just earn more, they inhabit a different reality entirely. The dreams shrink smaller, the hours grow longer, the rewards become emptier. In some global corporations, executives make more than 15,000 times what their workers earn. In 2024, while the average worker takes home $45,000 a year, top CEOs earn over $22 million instead. Their wealth grew by 1,500% since the 1970s, while the workers' pay rose just by 18%. Not because of merit, not because of skill, but because the game was rigged from the start. We live in a world where your time has different values. Your hour is worth $3 in Bangladesh, 15 in London, 30 in New York, but in corporate boardrooms, the same hour is worth millions. The higher you climb, the more your time is worth. The harder you work, the least you matter. From the streets of Mumbai to the towers of Tokyo, from the factories of China to the offices in Berlin, we're all caught in the same machine, where hope becomes currency, dignity becomes luxury, and survival becomes a full-time job. Even today, 64% of global workers live paycheck to paycheck, with 1 in 3 not being able to cover emergencies at all. While we count pennies, they count billions. While we measure our overtime hours, they measure in quarterly profits. While we worry about next month's rent, they debate which island to buy. Picture a game of chess where the workers aren't even pawns, they're the board itself. The pieces move above them, making decisions that shape their lives, while they remain locked in place, supporting the very system designed to keep them there. As the scales of fortune tip further each year, workers sink deeper into the shadows. While one person climbs the corporate ladder, another builds it with their bare hands. For every dollar that flows up to the top, a dream dies at the bottom. This really isn't about the wealth gap. It is an engineered canyon, deliberately designed to keep growing wider. The truth isn't hidden in spreadsheets or buried in annual reports. It's written in tired eyes of every worker, in every country, in every language. We're not just witnessing inequality, we're watching the systemic harvesting of human potential. When a system designed to break you finally succeeds, it doesn't just take your money, it takes everything. Your relationships, your mental health, sometimes even your will to live. In 2024, 1 in 3 marriages ended in divorce, all thanks to financial pressure, crushing the foundation that took years to build. The weight of endless bills doesn't just empty your bank accounts, it empties homes, shatters families, and turns dinner tables silent. But beneath these broken homes lies an even darker truth. When financial hardship finally strikes, mental health is twice as likely to get you, like a shadow that follows you home from work, growing longer with each passing hour until it consumes everything you once were. As the lights dim across the city worldwide, another kind of darkness spreads. While some debate which island to buy, others debate whether to keep the lights on. The distance between survival and success isn't just growing, it's becoming an ocean of broken dreams, drowning millions in despair. We've created a world where financial stress isn't just about money anymore. It's about watching your children's dreams dissolve, your partners becoming strangers, and your own reflection becoming unrecognizable. A world where 1 in 5 report worsening depression because of cost of living, where hopes become luxury few can barely afford. The breaking point isn't just about physical exhaustion anymore, it's about the moment when hope dissolves into survival, when dreams transform into a distant memory, when the future becomes a burden too heavy to carry. Just look at any study about people experiencing financial hardship. They're twice as likely to face mental health challenges than those who aren't. In this game of survival, we're not just losing our savings, we're losing pieces of our humanity, one overtime shift at a time. And for some, the weight just becomes too much to bear.
Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking, don't settle.
It's beautiful, isn't it? That work could be something that we love, that we could find meaning and fulfillment in something we do. But what if that dream wasn't meant for everyone? What if, for most of us, work isn't just about passion, it's about survival? Steve Jobs spoke about finding work that you love. But what happens when that system itself ensures that most people never get the chance? When the very idea of loving what you do becomes a privilege reserved for a few? As the new year approaches, we're left with one final question. What does work mean in a world where billions labor endlessly only for a handful to reap the rewards? The truth is that for most people, work isn't just about passion or purpose anymore. It's becoming survival. As of this year alone, over 80% of workers reported feeling disengaged from their jobs. Not because they lack ambition, but because they're stuck in roles that demand everything, which give back almost nothing. Long hours, low pay, not even time to dream. While this isn't just an economic problem, it is a human one though. It's a mother who misses her child's first words because she's working double shift. Or the father who skips his own meals to make sure his kids don't go hungry. The young graduate drowning in debt before they've even had a chance to begin their lives. Give this a thought for a moment. In some industries today, workers are expected to be available 24/7, always on call, always reachable. The line between personal life and work has disappeared entirely. And yet, despite all this sacrifice, there are still millions left wondering, what was it all for? Meanwhile, at the top of this system sits a select few who live completely different realities. A reality where time isn't measured by hours but in profits gained. Where wealth isn't just a number, it's power. The power to shape lives without even stepping into them. But this reveals a truly pernicious nature. This isn't about money or inequality. It is about control, a system that convinces you to trade your time for survival, while someone else trades your labor for luxury. So where does this leave us? In a world where billions sacrifice everything for a system designed to give nothing. In a world where hope is rationed, and dreams are sold for luxury. The reality is clear, the system isn't broken, it was built this way, built to extract as much as possible from as many as possible while giving back as little as possible. But here's the thing about systems, they're not permanent, they're created by the people, and they can be changed by the people. As you wait for this new chapter in your life, I leave you this one question. How much longer will you let this continue? How much longer will you accept a world where survival is celebrated as success? Because if nothing changes now, when will it?